Americans need to say nine to the Biden administration's proposed Title IX changes.
Come on, man. Get a life.
Hello, friends. My name is Jonathan Burris. I'm a husband, father, pastor, and teacher. The goal of this channel is to help Christians stand tall in a fallen world. Earlier today, I was invited to be a guest on a podcast called Preachers with a Punch with Dr. Nathan Street and Pastor Alan Mashburn. Pastor Mashburn wasn't able to attend today, but I was asked to come on and discuss the proposed Title IX changes that the Biden administration has proposed. After that podcast, I wanted to take some time and discuss Title IX in clear detail so you would know what's coming your way. I'll speak quite plainly today, and at the end, I'll bring it all together with something that may sound like something your conspiracy theorist crazy uncle might say. But give me a hearing and let me see if you agree or disagree. Let's get started. Title IX is the name for the federal civil rights law in the U.S. that was enacted as part of the Education Amendment of 1972. It prohibits any school or education program that receives federal funding from sex-based discrimination. The full Congress passed Title IX on June 8, 1972. The 37 words of Title IX were written by Senator Birch Bayh in order to prevent discrimination against women. In 1972, when Title IX was passed, only 42% of American college students were female. The original text signed into law by President Nixon in 1972 says, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance." This was necessary because the 1964 Civil Rights Act did not have a provision for sex protection. It did have a Title VI that only covered race, color, and national origin. Ironically, Representative John Tower proposed an amendment to Title IX that would have exempted athletic departments from Title IX. That amendment was rejected, but spoiler alert, that'll come back to haunt us 50 years later. Throughout the 80s and 90s, the Supreme Court of the United States issued rulings clarifying that sexual harassment and assault is a form of sexual discrimination. In 2011, President Obama issued guidance reminding schools to redress sexual assaults as civil rights cases under Title IX. While the Obama administration could not create law, the executive branch does enforce laws and therefore has some liberty when it comes to interpretation. This guidance was strong enough to signal to schools that the full resources of the executive branch would be used to prosecute sexual assault cases as civil rights matters, as well as make LGBT students a federally protected class. This began the downward spiral. As a result of the Obama administration's guidance on Title IX, a guilty until proven innocent system has been adopted by most schools when it comes to sexual assault cases. Due process was denied to the accused. During this time, we also began to see trans women, that's biological men identifying as women, participate in women's sports. So in May 2020, the Department of Education, under the leadership of Betsy DeVos, who may or may not be the great Satan incarnate,
That woman is a devil, and I want you to stay away from her, you hear me?
issued a letter stating that the policy of the state of Connecticut, which allows transgender girls to compete in high school sports as girls, was a violation of the civil rights of female student athletes and a violation of Title IX. Then, 81 million people voted for a man who was kept locked in his basement. The Orange Man supposedly attacked a team of Secret Service agents while trying to commandeer a Suburban. Some people took a tour of the U.S. Capitol without having a reservation. And a gender dysphoric person became head of the HHS. And so on March the 8th, 2021, President Joe Biden issued an executive order entitled Guaranteed an Educational Environment Free from Discrimination on the Basis of Sex, including Sexual Orientation or Gender Identity, reversing changes made by the Trump administration to limit the scope of Title IX to biological sex only, excluding gender identity and sexual orientation, as the 37-word original law did. On June 16, 2021, the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights issued a notice of interpretation explaining that it will enforce Title IX's prohibition on discrimination on the basis of sex to include discrimination based on sexual orientation and discrimination based on gender identity. I have some major concerns with these proposed changes. First is with regards to the burden of proof in sexual harassment and assault cases. The proposed regulation generally requires the adoption of a preponderance of evidence standard. That is to say that more than likely than not, discrimination occurred. This is a huge shift from the Trump administration's guidance, which required the same standard of proof as complaints against employees, including faculty, which is a clear and convincing standard. Put simply, the burden of evidence is on the accused, i.e., guilty until proven innocent. The other major issue with discrimination and assault cases is that cross-examination is now optional. There's no right of the accused to cross-examine witnesses. Due process rights of the accused is violated. It's a potential violation of the Fifth and the Sixth Amendments. Under the new guidance, one single investigator can handle a case from start to finish and determine guilt or innocence. This is Judge Dredd stuff here.
I am the law.
This gives a bully veto to silence free speech by simply labeling it sexual harassment or discrimination. Without due process, there's no legal recourse to challenge such claims. Conservatives will be banned from college campuses. Opposing viewpoints will be silenced. Men who identify as women will be allowed access to women's bathrooms, locker rooms, dorms, overnight accommodations, sports, or any other sex-segregated activity at educational institutions that receive federal financial aid. A biological male could be someone's daughter's college roommate, and the school would be under no obligation to disclose the risk or danger to the unknowing female. That doesn't only apply to college students. Many high school students attend overnight functions at colleges, universities, or hotels. Under these rules, a biological male could end up staying in a room with my daughter. 13 states have laws prohibiting male athletes from competing in women's sports. One study revealed that 94% of senior female executives played competitive sports. By allowing biological males to compete in women's sports, it doesn't just impact their scholarships, but their opportunity to get on the playing field in the first place. This will hurt women in the long run. The worst impacts of this rule go beyond sports and trophies. Indoctrinating children in their most formative years with the left's radical gender ideology will cause irreparable harm. It eliminates parental rights. One school's gender support plan reads, "Remember, parents are not entitled to know their kids' identities. That knowledge must be earned." And therein lies the problem. These leftists believe that children are property of the state rather than the responsibility of their parents. Children are a heritage to the Lord. We as parents have surrendered to Caesar that which is God's. We've abdicated our God-given responsibility to disciple our children while at the same time surrendering the future of our country. The left has subjugated the Judeo-Christian ethos in the public forum. But this is bigger than just sports and the LGBTQIA2+ movement. Let's think about the bigger picture. This is about the destruction of the nuclear family, the end of the so-called patriarchy, the white male hegemony, the man, the reduction of an overpopulated planet by a species known as humans that, like a virus, is destroying the host planet Earth. This is all part of the climate change cult that is willing to make you go vegan or eat bugs, kill livestock to prevent cow flatulence, and ban so-called fossil fuels to reduce the carbon footprint. But at the end of the day, humans are the real carbon that they wish to reduce. So how do you reduce the population in a controlled manner? Destroy and denormalize the nuclear family. Terminate life while it's still in the womb through abortion. Stop procreation by normalizing homosexual or asexual lifestyles. Remove undesired specimen from the gene pool through medical and surgical castration as part of gender reassignment procedures. This is Margaret Sanger's eugenics on steroids. Some of you may be old enough to remember November 18th, 1956, when Nikita Khrushchev said, "We will take America without firing a shot. We do not have to invade the U.S. We will destroy you from within." He was right. Christian, stand tall. And even if you stand alone, stand tall. Before you go, how about helping me out? Unlike many preachers online, I do not want your money. But you can help me out by hitting like on this video. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. Just this week alone, we've reached more people than we have in the previous month. And this channel is only 1 month old. Share this channel on social media and help spread the word. It's free and it only takes a few seconds of your time. Thanks so much for helping, and I can't wait to hear from you. Till next time.